protection. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I've gone over the entire story, so we don't have to rehash it. And she's got all the records. You're okay with me giving all the records you gave me, right? The Facebook printouts and everything.
Yeah, and I actually just sent you over an email, which you probably didn't get yet. But there was a piece of information that I don't think that we had discussed with you, and we just kind of were talking to my brother this morning about it because he was, involved in that.
Before we get there, what was your brother's name? I forgot to get
his name is Kevin, Kevin, and same last name as mine, Riford, Riford.
And on that day, it was Kevin and you, essentially. I mean, Christina wasn't with you, right? It was you and your brother?
She wasn't. It was just my brother and I, and then also my mother.
Oh, that's right. You took your mother with you.
Yes.
That's correct. So was she in the car when you're kind of the pickup truck's following you and all that?
Yes, she was.
Okay. And what's your mom's name?
Joanne. It's Joanne, Riford.
Okay. And then one other question, I think, and we didn't get into the specifics, and like I said, I know, obviously you guys were pretty emotional that day, so we didn't drill into some things, but at the actual police station in the parking lot, did you make it back there, or would that more be your brother? Because you turn off, as I understand it, and then they go in the Border Patrol parking lot, and then they end up in Cheektowaga parking lot. Did you go back to Cheektowaga, or was that your brother kind of dealing with all that?
Yeah, he dealt with all of that, but I did eventually meet up back there, because he's like, can you come and meet me, because this is happening right now, and so I did, but I wasn't present when, the police were, interviewing him or anything like that.
Did your brother express you, and actually, I mean, obviously we talked to him because it's firsthand account, but did they identify themselves? When did they identify themselves as law enforcement, or did they? Maybe they didn't.
I don't believe they ever did, and the police actually wouldn't come out and specifically say, oh, yes, they're private investigators or Border Patrol or anything. They actually had my brother say, they said if Kevin asked them, specifically, is that a private investigator, they could say yes, but they couldn't come out and say, otherwise.
Okay. So, all right. So that's how you guys got wind that they were private investigators, and then Kevin does some of his own research, and based on the police report,
he thought it was odd they took him to
where that Michael Mazga,
right,
done that report, and then he links that stuff up. Okay, all right. I think that was the only follow-up questions we had. But what was the other issue that?
Yeah, I just wanted because I don't know if we told you this, but when my brother was following behind Michael Mazga in his pickup truck, Michael Mazga actually called in a reinforcement to follow behind my brother and kind of sandwich him in between the two. And I don't even know if that was another Border Patrol agent. We do have the license plate number from that because my brother was able to get it from his backup camera. He turned it on and we read it. And basically...
That was a gray car?
No, there was a light blue pickup truck, which is the one that was following behind my brother. I think maybe that's what was considered.
The black pickup truck is in front.
Yes, and then there was a blue pickup truck, a light blue, almost grayish.
Okay, and then he's in the middle.
And then he's in the middle. And I have the license plate numbers for the three cars, if you want them.
Let me do that. Yeah, because I think I got the one for the Silverado, which was the one in front, right?
Yes.
Is that the JAK
yes.
875? Okay. And then your brother's was in the middle. And then what was the other vehicle? You said
then the other one behind him was CEE 8579.
What was it again, Katie?
CEE.
Charlie Echo?
Yes. 8579.
Okay.
And then there was a third car involved, but not in the chase that they pursued, but it was another person, and I don't know if they were part of the Border Patrol. I can give you that license plate number.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's D as in dog, N as in Nancy, H as in horse, 3989.
Okay, and does that show up in the parking lot?
Yeah, they were in the Cheektowaga Police Department parking lot, as well as they were across the street from in another parking lot separate from that.
What kind of vehicle was that?
It was a black Chevy SUV.
Okay. And then the next day, you guys see someone else following you, and you get a different tag. Is that right?
Yeah, that was that black Chevy SUV, but I think that they were present for both days. But we confirmed everything with that one on Sunday. The second
and Cheektowaga confirmed that all these people were affiliated with the PI agency.
Yes, correct.
Gotcha.
And when Michael Mazga led my brother into the Border Patrol employee parking lot.
Oh, yeah. Where was that? That was the other thing. Kelly had a question on that, right, Kelly? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so during when my brother was following behind him, he led him into that parking lot.
Where was the physical location? Because Border Patrol has a couple different stations around.
I can go grab him to ask. He's actually here with, let me just hold on a minute. Let me call him up. Hey, Kevin, can you come up here? Kevin. Because I'd rather have him get that. Tell you that.
Because you said you thought it was on Apple Tree or
well, they started from like the Walden Galleria Mall area.
They were never at Apple Tree.
They never went to Apple Tree. They drove by it, I think, but never into the parking lot. They wanted to know about the Border Patrol employee parking lot because they have several locations. Can you tell them where?
Yeah, first let me introduce myself. So this is, who am I speaking to right now?
Brian Burns with the FBI, and then Kelly Marshals. She's with Customs and Border Protection and Internal Affairs.
Okay, so my name's Kevin Riford. Nice to talk to you guys on the phone.
Yeah, I heard your story. I saw that you did a good job with your investigative skills. I was impressed.
Oh, thanks. I didn't plan on it, but so let me. So what was the question again?
When you're following the black pickup and then the other one's behind you, and they pull into a Border Patrol parking lot. Where was that? Because Border Patrol has a number of different locations in the city. Right. Do you remember what road that was on?
What area?
What road that was on where the bridge was?
Well, your sister stated that the black pickup driven by Mike Mazga kind of led you into some sort of Border Patrol.
Oh yeah, it was right in front of the bridge. It wasn't the Peace Bridge, but it was like the other one. I'm sorry, like by I don't know what bridge that. The name of it.
National Bridge, or was it in the city or something?
It was like it's kind of, yeah, I mean, like, it was I think it was by the city, because he led me to downtown Buffalo, like, towards the Bison Stadium, and at that point, he got back on the highway, and then shortly after that, we were at the Peace Bridge, probably not the Peace Bridge, the bridge, within 10 minutes of the border, because there's a bunch of, like, flashing lights and whatnot for the border, so that's how I kind of knew we're heading towards that direction at that point.
Kevin, when you left downtown, when you said you got back on the thruway, was it you talking about the 190?
I believe so.
Do you know if you were going north, like towards Niagara Falls, like that way, or were you going?
Yes, we would have been going north towards Niagara Falls, I believe.
Did you ever go on to Grand Island?
Grand Island Bridge?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know where about you? I'm sorry to ask you so many questions, Kevin. Do you know where about you would have exited the 190?
At what point?
Well, I guess what made you think it was Customs? Is that something you kind of came to afterwards, or did you just see like a sign that said Customs? Or?
Well, like I said, there's like a bunch of like flashing lights. Like so I had a internship over in Buffalo, and I come home the same way every time, which that way that I take home from the internship was the same way he led me to that bridge. And there's just like a bunch of flashing things notifying you that there's a bridge with the for borders. You know what I'm talking about or no?
Yeah, it had to have been a Peace Bridge, I'm thinking.
Yeah, but was there a sign that you said like employee parking lot?
Yeah, there was a thing that said employee parking only, which he led me into. At that point, there was one way you could go towards the bridge, and then there's like another way you could go for like employee parking. But at that time, I didn't even realize that was employee parking. I just knew that's where he was going, and that's where I was gonna follow him to.
Gotcha.
And that's what I did.
Did he pull? So I'm thinking you were actually approaching the Peace Bridge, and it curves to the right if you're going to actually go to Canada, or you can almost kind of stay straight and you pass the employee parking lot.
Okay, so maybe I guess it was, because that does sound like it. So
did you actually pull into the parking lot, the employee parking lot?
I did. I didn't even realize it was the employee parking lot until then. There actually was a Border Patrol agent sitting in his vehicle in front of the employee entrance. I did try to, well, actually, I didn't try to. I waved my hands at him and was kind of like,
Help.
Help, essentially. And he kind of just looked at me and, like, pretty much, like, shrugged his shoulder. Which I was like, really? But.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Kevin, in that parking lot, do you guys ever exchange any words or anything, or do you just pull in and then?
Yeah. We essentially pulled in, and then pulled right out. I think he kind of paused for a second because he wasn't sure what he was gonna do, and then he pulled out the entrance, and then we're right back on the highway. Which I was like, wow, how do you know that existed, and how do you know that it was gonna lead us right back on the highway? I thought that was kind of weird.
Right, and then, at this point, like you said, you have no idea they're PIs or anything. What
No.
approximate time of day do you think that was? Can you tell from your phone or anything?
So I wouldn't be able to tell from my phone what time that was. I do know that, however,
Video? What time was that video taken?
I do have a video that was produced maybe 15 or 20 minutes after that. I'm thinking more like 15 minutes.
Is that a video on your phone that you created or something?
Yeah, it was a video on my
I emailed
phone.
it to you.
My sister said she emailed it to you. It should be, I don't know if it's timestamped on your end, but I know it's timestamped on my phone.
Do you want to grab it and see?
Well, let me ask a question.
Sure.
What the time that you were following him and you think you were near that international crossing?
Yeah.
How soon before or after was 911 called when you advised that they were going east on?
I called from the beginning. I called various
Chicago.
police agencies. He led me through. He kept on getting onto on-ramps or whatever you call them, then he kept on getting off of them, and then he would get like on the same one and then get off of it. Like I believe he was trying to confuse me at that point because I don't really know.
Kevin, my other question, if you don't mind, is when you guys ended up back at the Cheektowaga Police Department,
Right.
in the parking lot,
Mhm.
and right, am I correct in that? And then the police were involved, and the individuals were kind of confronted by the police,
Correct.
right? Are you aware if they identified themselves as law enforcement officers?
Right. So I do. Yeah, I would like to discuss that actually. So I did notice the officer went up to the black car. The which I do now know it's Mazga.
Yes.
Yeah, Mazga. He went up to his car for maybe 3 to 4 minutes. I do know he ran his plate, I believe, because I could see him, talking on his thing. But then the funny thing I thought was that there's a car behind me. That's the car that joined in later. Right after the bridge incident, I noticed there was a blue pickup truck behind me. And at that point, we ended up at the Cheektowaga Police Department, and he ran the black pickup truck and talked to the guy in the black pickup truck, but he never once went to talk to the guy behind me that was in the blue pickup truck that was behind me.
You drive the Hyundai, the Sonata?
Yeah, I drive the Sonata, the Hyundai.
Okay. Yeah, we're just looking at the reports and wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
It's gray?
It is gray, yes.
Okay. Yeah, we just look at the police report. So you're not privy to that conversation with the officer. You just see him talking to the guy. It's a Mazda in the black pickup?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
My windows rolled up. I just assumed that he was,
Yeah.
running his plate because I saw him talking to his microphone or whatever it's called.
Right. And that's Mazda because from the police report and then looking at the Facebook stuff?
Correct.
That's how you put that together?
Yeah.
And then the other guy, Ostrowski, that you found on Facebook, was he in the blue pickup truck?
He was.
Wasn't he? Was he in the blue pickup truck or that black SUV?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
That was the next day. He showed up.
He showed up in that different car. So
the next day he showed up with a different vehicle. This was going to be the
SUV?
right. Well, I don't know if it's considered an SUV. I know it's a Chevy. Kind of has a weird not a weird name to it. I have the plate here.
Yeah, I gave it to him.
Yeah, we got the plate. I think that was
I think it's a Spark, Chevy Spark or something like that, or yeah.
That Delta.
NH.
Delta NH, the DNH.
Yeah.
Yeah, the DNH 38. DNH 3989.
Gotcha. Yeah, we got that one. So Ostrowski was driving that the next day on the 4th.
Correct.
Okay, and then did you see Ostrowski in the parking lot the previous day when the thing with Mosca happened and all that?
Yeah.
Not until not until he joined in on the pursuit behind me, and we ended up at the police department. I didn't see him up until then.
Okay, but you're comfortable saying it was definitely Ostrowski in the blue pickup.
Oh yes, and if you do look at the the video as well, I know it doesn't show his face very clear,
Okay.
but you can see his plates. The whole reason why I backed up very slowly, might I add, was to get that plate. He was driving in a pickup truck behind me, and I wasn't sure if there was going to be a time where I was able to get that plate, but I knew that my rear view backup camera would definitely get the plate on camera, which I could record from my phone.
Good, you did good.
So
You said you're a good investigator. I told your sisters that last week. Let me ask you this. Maybe this I'll timestamp it. So we have a record of when you're calling 911, and it's about 2:40, and then you end up in the parking lot around 3:16. So it'll be sometime. Was it in the middle of the chase, or was it more towards the beginning or the end when you pull into the CBP parking lot?
that's going to be towards the middle, like or maybe towards like the middle end.
All right, because you would have to. Well, did you go right from the CBP kind of right to Cheektowaga Police?
Yeah, that's exactly what we did. We went right from there all the way to the.
So you stopped doing the on and off and all that other stuff.
There was no on and off at that point.
Right afterward, that's kind of a straight shot to the Cheektowaga.
Yeah, they literally took me straight, or he took me straight to the Cheektowaga. And if you look at the video too, you'll see there's a Dave's Christmas tree shop in that video, which is on that corner of the street, which he alleges I did something to him or tried to do something to him at the Applegate.
No,
Apple tree.
How do you know that?
Apple tree. That's in the police report.
His.
Or his police report, not my police report.
Okay.
There's actually a complaint, not even a report.
I'm investigating the gray car. It's his sister. Okay. That's a complaint or whatever. Gotcha. And then obviously nobody was ticketed, right? You weren't ticketed, as far as you know. They weren't ticketed or anything.
No, the police officer, let him go.
Didn't let you go as well.
Let me go.
Right. Didn't take anything from their allegation or whatever.
They just left.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. And that video that your sister sent me, that was just taken from your phone, you said?
That was taken from my phone, right?
Okay. And how long is it about, Kev?
The video, I don't even know how long it was. It wasn't very long.
That he has an email.
Yeah, but it was emailed to you.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna see. If it's too big, I can't get it, so I'm just wondering.
No, it's not. It shouldn't be too big. I mean, should be under 5 minutes.
Gotcha, Kev. I'm sorry, Kev. No, I was.
Yeah. Kevin, how did the police leave it with you? I just wanted to verify that part. Once you were back at Cheektowaga and they talked to the black pickup, did they come back and interact with you, or?
He did. Originally, he drove up to my car. I believe I think he drove up to my car, and I was kind of like dumbfounded that he was just gonna drive up to my car and talk to me from his car. So I got out and like who are they or whatever, and he says that he can't tell me who they are because he can't. But that he could tell my sister who they were. And yeah, it's really that.
Okay.
But he did at least intimate, or in some way you understood them, the PIs, based on what he said, correct?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, a little bit, because who else could they be at that point if you let him go?
Right. acknowledge that, but he did tell you their PIs or agnowledged it or something?
He goes, if you asked him if they're PIs, he could confirm, but you can't come out and
that's
say
what I was asking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
You going to UB, Kev? What are you taking up?
Accounting.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm actually in my senior year, which kind of sucks with all this stuff that's going on.
You got your break now, so you can
Yeah.
group of it. So are you going to do your CPA, or what are you going to do?
Oh, yeah, definitely going for the CPA.
All right, muscle through and get it done. We got a bunch of CPAs around here. So.
Awesome.
My sister was one, so.
Oh, nice.
Yes, do it now. Don't try to do it later.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting it done as soon as I graduate.
Good. All right, Kev. Well, is there anything else? Obviously, we're going to put all this together, and Kelly will possibly follow up as needed.
I appreciate everything, Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Do you guys have anything to
Do we have
add?
anything else or no?
No, I don't think so. I just wanted to let you know too, when they were that black Chevy or pickup truck was following me, that I had a baby in the car at the time, and I had to do major lane changes. I had to jump in front of, because I thought they were hitmen at first, and I was jumping through in front of oncoming traffic to try to get rid of them, and
I just to kind of drive aggressively. And
very aggressively, and I had my 1-year-old in the back seat, my disabled mother. I was waking up for weeks after this with heart palpitations in the middle of the night. Even still today, I can't even go to the store without looking over my shoulder because of the aggressiveness of these people.
Katie, you mentioned that, I think I was described this properly, but correct me if I'm wrong, that basically, they're following you, your brother's now in it, and then I think you made a real hard turn, and that's when
and that's how I lost them, because I had to jump in front of oncoming traffic on George Urban Boulevard, and so I basically put my family in risk, and I thought that was a better choice than to be followed by people I thought were gonna kill me, basically.
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Well, Katie, as Brian mentioned, I'm an investigator with Customs and Border Protection with our kind of internal affairs, so I have everything. It'll all go in our system. The case will be assigned to someone. I don't know if it'll be me.
Okay.
I'm kind of like the duty agent this week.
Right.
For the intake of stuff, so it may be me, it may not, but I just want to assure you that, this will be looked into, someone will follow up.
Okay.
Especially if they are, our employees and whatnot. So someone will be, I'm sure, back in touch with you, to gather some more information if we have any questions. I have your contact number and stuff.
Okay.
The other thing I just want to say, Katie, for what it's worth is, obviously this shouldn't, be a reflection of Customs and Border Protection. If these are people that are doing jobs on the side,
right,
is an agency, you have to get permission to do all the, that for any law enforcement like that. But it's not, these aren't individuals acting on behalf of Customs and Border Protection, I guess, out doing this or.
Right.
I just want to, for what it's worth,
It's not their official capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we realize that. This is Christina, by the way. I'm sorry. I don't have any part in this, but I'm the one that encouraged my sister to go to the FBI because we really got the sense from all of this that they are using their Border Patrol status to intimidate not only our family, but because they know they can get away with it because when they converse with these local police agencies and they're familiar with them because of their jobs, that's an issue. And that's why, and there was a statement made by one of the Cheektowaga police officers, whether it was meant sarcastic or not, I take it seriously, that he said to my brother, law enforcement sticks together. And listen, whether it's true or not, I don't care. But when it comes to my family's safety, I feel compelled to find the truth in this. Because if it can happen to my family, it can happen to anybody. And that's why I want you to take this very seriously, because I have a 2.5-year-old daughter, and my sister has 2 young children herself. And this is beyond normal private investigating practices. And I hope and pray that you take it as seriously as I am.
It is, and understood. I get that. That's why I just want to make one thing clear.
Yes.
What private investigators are allowed to do within the law, I guess, and what, with different law enforcement agencies, and I'm not even going to pretend that I'm 100% clear on that. That's one thing I want to make clear, though, is that these individuals are not working in their official capacity. If they have jobs on the side doing that, I mean, obviously that's all.
Right, but see, that's why it presents a very big conflict of interest if you're intertwining those things.
Christine, as I told you, this is being taken extremely serious.
Yes.
It wasn't a federal crime, but I mean, it'll definitely be looked into, and they'll be held to account for things that are obviously violations of their employment.
Right.
Stuff, so.
Oh, yes.
Brian, I just had one question too. Did you tell Kelly, because I forgot about how they called into the Chief Tioga Police to inform them to ignore any calls that came in regarding that?
I'm sorry, I didn't do a good job of that, Kate. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Tell me how you know that, and how, because you threw a lot at me, and I didn't. I touched on it.
Yeah, so what happened was when my brother and I physically went in to the police station on that Saturday the 3rd to we had some of those license plates, and we wanted to confirm.
Real quick, Katie, though, was this the next day? This is the next day, right?
Was that Saturday or Sunday that we went in there? That day?
On the 3rd is when the chase
Sunday?
happened.
I think so. It wasn't the first.
Yeah, it was Sunday. My brother said it was the 4th then, Sunday. So I think we went to go.
Yeah.
I think that's when we went to have them run that license plate of that DNH. Yeah.
Yep.
And we were informed by the officer behind the counter that they called in, and which was probably the Ostrowski who called in, I'm thinking, called in to say, hey, if you get any, police calls, 911 calls regarding, Katie being chased, just ignore it, because it's just us following, or, doing our PI work or whatever.
Okay, that's what the officer at the desk told you.
Yes.
Guys? Ostrowski called in.
Yes. Well, they didn't say Ostrowski, but they said that they referred to him as they, like as in the private investigators called in, and that they were told, it's just us, so don't, just ignore it or whatever.
Okay. Do you have 2 questions, Katie?
Yeah.
Do you have the officer's name?
No, I don't.
It was just the desk officer when you walk in the lobby?
Yes.
On the 4th.
On the 4th.
What time of day were you in there on the 4th, Katie? Approximately.
Do you know? I'm trying to think.
Put yourself. Was it after lunch? Before lunch? Was it?
I'm not sure about that.
Where do you guys see the SUV that causes that you grab the plate and all that?
That would have been like at the halfway point of when I had my son with me, and so probably like trying to think. Probably be like afternoon. I'm thinking around 1:00 maybe.
Okay. The shifts are 8 hours, so we'll figure it out. But you and your brother go in?
Yeah, we went in there.
Okay. And that's when the desk officer mentions that they called in and said, "Don't worry, something."
Yeah, like just don't worry or ignore the call. Basically, it's us doing our PI work. And, we were hired to follow this girl around, basically.
Okay. Gotcha. No, that's helpful. I'm glad you mentioned it. I'm sorry, Katie.
Oh, no, it's okay, because I felt like that was a pretty big...
When he relayed that, he's saying this is what was said the prior day? Like he was aware of it, or on the 4th?
I was assuming it was that day, because we had already called, 911 on a Saturday, so I think this was to make sure this is a brand new day, so if you get any more calls, you know what I mean? So...
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they would have known if they were following you that you went back there, so...
Right.
That makes sense. Yeah, we can track all that down when she... I'm sorry?
Oh, no, I didn't say anything.
Oh, gotcha.
All right, Katie, well...
Yep.
We will be in touch for sure.
Okay, sure.
To assure you that, this will go into our system today or tomorrow. Like I said, sometimes it takes it's time working through the pipeline to get assigned back to our office, and then it gets assigned to an agent. So
Okay.
if you don't, and obviously you have Christmas next week and stuff, so if you don't hear from someone for a couple weeks, I just don't want you to think that it fell on deaf ears.
Right.
Okay.
It's not. It'll definitely be
There's definitely a lot of, they pull video, they get interviewed Chief Tawaga. There's a lot of pieces to this, so just the fact you haven't heard doesn't mean that. And then also, and I know this from my investigations, the way investigations work, we can't share with you all the other stuff going on. I can't speak for Kelly, but I know in my cases, we get people all the time that go, Brian, what's going on? Brian, what's going on? And I can't really tell them because you're a witness. So if I tell you what somebody else said, now I've tainted your testimony. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I completely understand that.
Yeah. So because we can't share things with you, doesn't mean that things aren't happening.
Right.
So.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
will get. Actually, Katie, you want to give me your email?
Sure. It's Katie KATIE.RIFORD@gmail.com.
All right, I'll shoot you an email, Katie.
Okay.
You have my contact information, just in case there's anything super serious. But like I said, just know it'll probably be a good couple weeks.
Okay.
Hear from anyone, but that's because we'll be doing stuff in the background. So.
Okay.
And I told Kelly, so too, I told them that, if you have another incident or anything like that, you got my cell phone, call me immediately.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure.
So, if it's something, there's another thing like this or, it escalates to where law enforcement involved, call me or anything, just, you got my number.
Okay.
Call me, okay?
Yep. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
I'll send you an email if I didn't get the video from your brother.
Yeah, I think it's like a link. So hopefully it's like a Google link, but hopefully that'll work. If not, we'll figure a different way to send it.
I'm sure if it's a link, that's, like I said, I'll push it on to Kelly too, so she has it.
Okay, sure.
All right?
Yep. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Put a behind you and enjoy your holiday.
Thanks, you too.
Okay. Thanks, Kate.
Thanks. Bye-bye.